بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. So we are inshallah doing the last page of Surah al-Kahf. It will take some time because again I want to explain a little bit about Yajuj and Majuj and possibly inshallah end this discussion and this debate about Yajuj and Majuj, where people say, how do we understand that there are two huge tribes or nations, millions of people living on earth today, and they are one of the major signs they're going to break out and they're going to destroy the world. How do we explain the fact that we do not know where they are? And there are just too many of them. How do we say that? Where is Yajuj and Majuj? I actually did a lot of research. Actually, not a lot, a little bit. And I found out that there are so many theories made by the scholars about the Yajuj and Majuj. We do have a big number, almost, really quite a few number, hadith of the Prophet ﷺ talking about Yajuj and Majuj, plus the ayat. Yajuj and Majuj, they are mentioned in Surah al-Anbiyah and in Surah al-Kahf. As we were just talking about, Dhul Qarnain building the dam, building the wall, which keeps them behind it. Most of the theories made by the scholars, they have one problem. They cannot get all the ahadith and the ayat on the same page with their theory. They normally will have to break one rule or just to make the theory believable. So I finally found, inshallah, the perfect theory. I called it the Eiadi theory because I kind of made it myself. But I can't take credit for it. I kind of put all the theories together and I added a little bit from my knowledge from the medicine thingy. And I think this probably makes the most sense because it goes well with all of the ayat and the ahadith. So I think this would be important, inshallah, to know. I should get actually the Nobel Prize for piece of cake, inshallah. They should give me a piece of cake for this. Chocolate cake, preferably. So yeah, actually I think this is maybe, I don't think anybody ever talked about this before, like the way I'm going to present it, inshallah. So maybe this is a new thing, wallahu alam. So number one, the first hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he woke up one day, this is an authentic hadith, in the morning, and he said, وَيْلٌ لِلْعَرَبْ مِنْ شَرٍ قَدْ اقْتَرَبْ. Arab, the Arabs are in trouble. There is a great evil coming soon. So his wife asked him, O Prophet of Allah, what is that evil? He said, Yajuj and Majuj made a big hole in the wall today. Now, we were told that the wall repairs itself. That's not really authentic, that the wall repairs itself. Because if the wall can repair itself, alaykum salam, then making a big hole or a small hole doesn't matter. It's going to repair itself. So that means the wall is thick, but it does not repair itself. And the Prophet ﷺ said that this evil is coming soon. That means they are going to break out soon. According to the hadith, the description, the way they look, Yajuj and Majuj, we explained this before, they look Asian. Their nose and their features, their facial features, and the way they look is very kind of Asian. Not Chinese. From, the Mughal and the Tatar who attacked the Muslim empire, and they attacked them in the 6th century of Hijrah, the early about 610. Those Mughal and Turk or the Tatar, they look exactly as the Prophet ﷺ described Yajuj and Majuj. They're very aggressive, and they killed millions of people, millions, and they burned thousands of buildings. Exactly.
Even though they look Chinese, but they're still tall and big.
So that's all the Mughal and Tatar, and many of the scholars say those are Yajuj and Majuj. Of course, not the exact Yajuj and Majuj of Dhul Qarnain, because those are normal people. They die normally, but that could be their children. How many what? Oh, a lot. Millions. And just like the Prophet ﷺ said about them, they're primitive, not very smart,
and they're aggressive. They just like to, basically, they take joy in killing and destruction. So al-Maghul and al-Tatar, those two groups, and they are the Mongols, yeah, and the Tatar, the Turk, they call them, they fit the description of Yajuj and Majuj a lot. And the Prophet ﷺ, according to his hadith, that the Muslim empire, Arab means the Muslims, will pay a lot the suffering and destruction because of Yajuj and Majuj. So that means the wall of Dhul Qarnain has already been broken. It's no longer there. Because people ask, where is the wall of Dhul Qarnain? Is it the Great Wall of China? No, it's not. Because they already attacked the Muslim empire and they caused a lot of destruction. They already broke the wall which was built by Dhul Qarnain. That wall is no longer there. And that's answered the question, where is the wall? It's already been destroyed. Because they came out, they destroyed everything. But then after that, they accepted Islam. Those people accepted Islam. And because Islam, of course, teaches us to be more calm and to be able to control ourselves, they calmed down and they stopped destroying. And they did actually some good stuff as Muslims. The Mongols and the Turk and the Mughal and Tatar, those tribes who attacked the Muslim empire.
There's someone want to keep them,
Huh?
guide them for Islam.
They attacked the Muslim empire.
Empire.
When they attacked the Muslim empire, they got in touch with Islam. And then some of them liked Islam and they became Muslim. That tells us that even though those people are a little primitive and not very intelligent, but they are still at the point of telling right from wrong. They're not at the point of, they're just completely retarded. Right? Like Shaykh Yasir Qadi says in one of his videos, they're zombies. And by the way, that word is very close to the truth. Calling them zombies, they're many, not very smart. They like to kill everything and destroy everything and burn everything, exactly like zombies. But I want to make a small alteration to this. So first thing we want to agree on is that Yajuj and Majuj, they have already destroyed the wall built by Dhul Qarnain about 800 years ago when they attacked the Muslim empire. And they destroyed the Khilafah al-Abbasiyya, by the way. They destroyed a lot of things and they burned books. A lot of knowledge was lost. The library of Baghdad was the greatest source of knowledge at that time. And many people say if this library was not destroyed by them, today the science and the stuff we have would be like hundreds of years ahead of today. They pushed humanity. So that, again, all of these proofs tell us that those al-Mughal and Tatar who attacked the Muslims were Yajuj and Majuj. How do we explain that at the end of time, Yajuj and Majuj will come back again and they will attack mankind and they will cause the same destruction and all that? If we said they already came and they destroyed things and then some of them accepted Islam. So here is the situation. If there is no wall, like we said, the wall is destroyed, then why is Yajuj and Majuj are not attacking us now? If there is no wall keeping them behind it, and where are they? Millions of people on earth, and we do not know. Before I said they could be in a different dimension, which is possible, but I think there is a better answer to that. And again, that's one of the theories made of some of the scholars who had medical background, like me, mashallah. So, except that I'm not a scholar. We have a gene, we studied that in medical school. Men are XY, they're a chromosome, they have X and Y. Sometimes the Y can multiply. So they can have two Ys and one X. That's a proven disease. It's not a disease, it's like a genetical mutation when the Y becomes 2. Those people who have 2 Y and 1 X, they are very aggressive and not very intelligent. And sometimes Y can become 3 Ys, and which is a rare situation, but it can happen.
What does that mean?
That means a person is very aggressive but not intelligent.
Okay, is there a correlation between aggressiveness and low intelligence?
Yeah.
In general?
The more, no, in that regard, not all the time. So that means, and this is what I found to be maybe making sense the most, Yajuj and Majuj today live among us. Their children, of course, not the same Yajuj and Majuj of Dhul Qarnain, because those normal people, as we said, they die, they age, but they reproduce. They are normal like us now, but they have these genes in their system, and these genes are what we call dormant, which means they are not active. Since we know towards the end of time there will be a third world war and nuclear weapons might be used, that will cause these genes to be active again. So they will go back to their origin by being the Yajuj and Majuj, and that will be the third major sign when they destroy humanity. So this is my theory, and Allah knows best, but that explains a lot of things. What is the wall? There is no wall, destroyed. Where are they? They are with us. They are living with us in some parts of Asia. They're normal people, but they have these genes dormant in their system, and maybe not this generation, maybe the next generation, because, you know, the genes normally are inherited. My children get my genes. Your children get your genes. You know, genes is that what you wear. Yeah, that's the genes. So there will be a reason, some kind of like, chemical reaction, God forbid, some kind of pandemic like what happened, may Allah save us from all fitna, which will cause this gene to be active in those people. So the gene is there, and that's what makes them Yajuj and Majuj. But because it's not active, they're acting normal now. Once that activates it, they will go back again into being aggressive and less intelligent. Now, what is the problem with the zombie theory? Because again, zombies are a lot. They are, I know they are fictional, but I mean, many things were fictional in the past, and now they are no longer fictional. They are a lot, they are aggressive, they're not intelligent. The problem with zombies is they show us zombies as completely retarded, like they have no intelligence, zero. The problem with this theory is that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says in the Hadith that Yajuj and Majuj will go to hellfire. So if they have some kind of mental deficiency to the point where they cannot tell right from wrong, Allah will not put them in hellfire. That's not their fault. And that takes me back to my theory. When those genes activate, those people still have their mental ability to choose sides. And there are many stories, like we talked about Yajuj and Majuj, when they point their arrows toward the sky and they say, we're going to kill God and his angels. That tells us that they know there is God. They know there are angels. So that means they have a level of intelligence. They don't fight each other. So they know what's happening. It's not like they're completely out of control. They don't know what's going on. Basically, they have the tendency of being aggressive, to the tendency of destruction, but that's not out of their control. And that's why they will be punished by going to hellfire. And that can be explained again. This reinforces my theory, how they accepted Islam in the past. They're not very intelligent, but not to the point that they cannot tell right from wrong. So which means they accepted Islam in the past. That tells us that they have the ability to know right from wrong and to accept Islam or not. So Yajuj and Majuj at the end of time will not be completely out of the ability to think, or they have a completely mental damage to a point that they cannot tell right from wrong. Otherwise, Allah will not put them in hellfire. So to summarize my theory, which I need to get Nobel Prize for, inshallah, I think Yajuj and Majuj live today with us. They are not behind a wall or anything. They destroyed the wall at the time of the year 600 Lil Hijrah, and they caused a lot of destruction, just like the Prophet ﷺ said. And the facial features, the way they look, exactly like the Hadith, al-Maghul al-Tatar. They accepted Islam, that calmed them down. The next generation were born Muslim. The next generation, and that's why it's possible, but Allah who knows best, if those people today, Yajuj and Majuj's descendants are Muslims today. That is possible. So something will happen to activate that gene which they got from their great-grandfathers, the Yajuj and Majuj of Dhul Qarnain. When that gene activates, they become like their great-grandfathers. Aggressive, not very intelligent, but not to a point where they do not know right from wrong. They still know right from wrong, and that's why Allah will put them in hellfire.
But that doesn't explain that there's a lot of them.
They reproduce. There are a lot of them. So that means many of people, they could be Chinese, they could be from different cultures. They don't have to be in one country. So you can imagine Yajuj and Majuj at the time of Dhul Qarnain, after they broke out of the wall, they spread throughout the whole world. And they got married and they have children. So they reproduced. But the gene is given still going through the generations, which is dormant now, until something activates it. And that explains their huge numbers. And there is another hadith actually that says Yajuj and Majuj will attack humanity twice. So that's another thing.
Al-Kahf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that they will break the wall not too before Roze Qiyamah.
No, Allah does not say that.
Surah al-Kahf, doesn't it say that?
No, actually this is the ayah we are about to explain. It does not say that.
No. Is it?
Dhul
Sorry.
Qarnain, after he built the wall, what did he say? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. This is our ayah. هذا رحمة من ربي. This wall is the mercy from my Lord. فإذا جاء وعد ربي جعله دكاء. When the promise of my Lord comes, it will be destroyed.
Right.
He didn't say the promise of my Lord is the day of judgment. The promise of my Lord can be what happened in the 800 years ago. We cannot imagine, the mu'arrikhin, those historians, when they saw Yajuj and Majuj attack the Muslim country, they thought that was the end of Islam. They thought there will be no more Islam after Yajuj and Majuj, the Mughal and the Tatar.
Oh, yeah.
That's how bad it was.
It's very vicious.
It was very bad. So that again explains that they're very aggressive, just like the Prophet ﷺ told us. Again, at the end of the day, only Allah knows best, but I found this to be the one that, because it fits with all the ayat and it fits with all of the ahadith. There is no hadith or ayah that you find that contradict with what I just said. And it explains a lot of things. Where is the wall? It's already destroyed. Where are they? If they are so many, they are with us. So after Dhul-Qarnayn built the wall, he did not take credit for his great work. Well, that was the piece of the art. This wall was not a normal wall. He said, "Hada rahmatun min Rabbi." And we said the righteous people, whenever they do something great, something that is commendable, something that's worth the praise, they always relate it to Allah. This is from Allah. This is not my doing. Even though, we know He's the one who did the whole thing, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing happens without Allah's help and Allah's permission. He said, this is mercy from my Lord. And if you make a comparison...
God gave him the ingredients.
Allah gave him everything, like Allah gave us everything we have. But normally, a lot of people praise themselves. Look at what I did. Look how great I am. Did I tell you how humble I am? That's my favorite statement. So
That's how
normally people, when they do something that's very successful, they don't relate it to somebody else. They say, this is my hard work. I worked hard for this. You see, a lot of people, especially, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but doctors, when they become rich and successful and famous, because all this thanks to my sleepless nights and because I worked so hard, they don't mention their parents. They don't mention Allah. They don't mention any of the help that they got from the people around them. They only mention, it's all thanks to me and I am the best person on earth. So,
That is sad. That's very sad.
It's true though. It's very true.
100%.
When person gets to a point of being so successful, and if people are praising them, Fir'aun said, "Ana rabbukum al-a'la." What do you think he said that for? I am your Lord. He got to a point of making himself God. And he thought so. He thought that he got the level of, because the people around him were praising him so much, we can't do this without you. So he believed it. Before the class ends, I want to make this comparison. Remember the story of the two friends in Surah al-Kahf?
Yeah.
One friend has two gardens. What did he say about the garden? He said, I don't think anything ever will happen to these gardens. These gardens are protected. Nothing can happen to them. Versus what Dhul Qarnain said about his wall, he said, one day it will be destroyed.
Right.
You see how the righteous person will speak versus the person who has no knowledge. The two friends, that guy who had the gardens, he said, مَا أَظُنُّ أَن تَبِيدَ هَذِهِ أَبَدًا. I don't think anything can happen to my gardens. Nothing will happen to them. Dhul Qarnain, who built this beautiful wall, he said, فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي جَعَلَهُ دَكَّاء. When the promise of my Lord comes true, it will be destroyed to the ground. So this is how righteous people think. They know that nothing lasts forever.